all winners. All winners. When I see some of the Zandolis that have crawled out of the hole after not seeing them around for a very, very long time, while the hard work was taking place, and now that the harvest is ripe, they're with their bags and their basket ready to reap the harvest. I know how hard our leader must have it. But I say to him, when you pray in the morning, all you can say, as David said, yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Because being a leader is not a Mickey Mouse job. It takes strength, it takes determination, it takes perseverance, it takes some brain matter and brain power. And I can tell you that the man from Mason Hall is the right leader at the right time in Trinidad and Tobago. So that they realized they couldn't challenge him. Because you know, the ladies of the PNM, the Women's League of the PNM, I know from the time I joined the PNM in 1987, don't mess with the Women's League. Don't interfere with the Women's League, because the Women's League, they are the backbone of the PNM. And what I know about the Women's League is that they protect their leader. So that when man thought that they could have come around the leader, there was one dancing all over the place every Friday, making some noise, and I thought he would come. But when he looked left and he looked right, and he saw the power of the People's National Movement Women's League, he said, I ain't coming in that fight at all. And so they changed their strategy to surround the leader with some people who, in my opinion, are neither loyal to party, to leader, or themselves. And therefore, a leader has to identify talent, but not just talent, a group of persons who are dedicated and committed to the People's National Movement and who will support their leader come hell or high water. Because the opposition is not from within. We may have some people squirmishing about little things, and mostly it's about things that they don't get when they want it. But the real opposition is outside of the PNM, and therefore the PNM has to take its strongest talent and bind it together so that we can beat the UNC over and over and over and over and over. And so when you look to select a party chairman, you're not looking for OJT. This is not, with all due respect to our Minister of Labor, this is not OJT time in the PNM. This is a time when you need to find someone who has experience, who has served in the parliament for over 25 years, who has served as vice chairman of the PNM, who has served as a member of parliament and a minister of government. Call me Imbert as PNM party chairman come September the 30th. This is not a time for someone who has never served in party office before, has never held a position of officer in the PNM. When you're looking to promote somebody as your party chairman, you want someone with some experience for the job. And I tell you tonight, the man for the job of chairman is none other than Colm Imbert, the member of parliament for Diego Martin Northeast. And then when you're looking for a general secretary, and you have someone who joined the PNM in 1987, was chairman of a constituency at age 19, served in several offices at the National Youth League level, a member of the General Council for the last 25 years, and before that 3 years as an observer from the National Youth League, a total of 28 years of service at the General Council of the PNM. When you have someone who served as youth officer male of the movement, and I dare say the Youth League was the best it could ever be under that gentleman. When you have someone who served as field officer of the party, and I dare say constituencies were well organized and well oiled under his stewardship. When you have someone who is currently serving as election officer of the People's National Movement, and I dare say we have not lost a single election under his stewardship. When you're looking for a general secretary of the People's National Movement, you could not find a more qualified candidate than Foster Cummings for the position of General Secretary. As I said, it's not about OJT. I went to the Tobago Council conference some days ago, and the political leader gave a remarkable speech to our Tobago counterparts. And in spite of that, while I was returning, I met a passenger at the airport. And she said to me, you know, I really want to support you, you know, but I'd already given him a word to this nice young man. He sounds so nice, and you know, he's not on the slate, so I feel sorry for him, and I tell him I will vote for him. I had my boarding pass in my hand. I say, I ain't going on that plane. Her flight was later than mine. I told the lady at the counter, I can't catch my flight. Could you put me on the flight with this lady 2 hours after? And I sat down to work. I know I had a time. And she talked and she talked and she talked. And when I was finished, she said, well, you convinced me, you know. So I had to spend 2 hours. It was one vote. But I know the lady in her community of Bethel is a very influential party activist. So I said, if I get on that plane, although it's one person, she could go back and influence more. So tonight, I can tell the Prime Minister, Bethel, Mount Irving voting red and Rowley on the 30th. I had planned to give you some of my plans, but you know, sometimes you can't always stick to script. But what I want to say to you party members tonight, we have a local government election in 2019. We have a general election in 2020. We have a Tobago House of Assembly election in 2021. This is a very serious time in the organization of the PNM. To make sure that the PNM is an unbeatable election machine, you must support the red and Rowley slate. Because to do anything else will be to surround our political leader with a bunch of aspirants who might be ambitious, but whose agenda we are not clear about. And once we are unclear about your agenda, we cannot trust you. So tonight, vote for the red and Rowley slate. Support Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. Give him an executive, Mayaro, Komoto Manzalina, Toko Sangre Grande. I see some people here from Arima. There's a posse here from Couva South. Where's Couva South? All and sundry, east, west, north, and south. We had a political leader who used to say, we will beat them in the east, we will beat them in the west, we will beat them in the north, and we will beat them in the south. And tonight I tell you, we will be victorious on September the 30th with your support. Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM, and we shall prevail.